Hey, what's up guys? My name is Joe and today we're going to be answering a very important question. Is it bad if you notice a few strands of hair falling off the top of your head? The short answer is no, it's not a problem. Now listen carefully because I get this question all the time, either in the comments of my videos or the Bluemon community discussion on Facebook. Great group, by the way, if you haven't joined it. It's in the description down below. People like to ask if losing strands of hair is bad. Either they see it on their pillow, they see it after they blow dry their hair, they see it in the drain of their shower. Does this mean that you're going bald? No, it does not mean that at all. In fact, everyone loses roughly between 50 to 100 strands of hair every single day. So actually, you're only seeing a tiny fraction of the amount of hair that you're actually losing. You're losing hair when you go outside, when you go to school, when you wash your pet turtle. Basically, throughout your day, you're going to be losing a few strands of hair here and there. No big deal, okay? However, there's a few things that you can do to combat the strands falling out of your hair. Just so you know, this is not a healthy hair video. I will be making a healthy hair video later, but this is a, how to prevent extra strands falling out of the top of your head type of video. So tip number one, if you've seen my stuff before, you probably already know this, don't wash your hair too often. A lot of guys like the feeling of fresh, clean hair, and that feeling of clean hair makes it seem like maybe your hair is healthy. However, if you wash it too often, then that's going to not be good. If you wash your hair too often, it's going to become dry, and dry hair becomes damaged hair becomes fragile hair, and then fragile hair is going to fall out of your face. My personal routine is washing my hair and conditioning whenever I wash every 2 days. So wash, skip, you get it. Some people like to go every 3 to 4 days. If you can get away with that without your hair becoming super greasy, go for that. On the same line with shampoos, if it's possible, and it's not very easy because so many shampoos contain them, try to avoid these things right here. They're not good. The reason why they're so popular is because they're really cheap. They're a great cleansing agent. In fact, they're so good at cleaning that they're gonna strip all of your natural oils as well, in addition to all the gunk. So it's just drying out your hair. Also, these ingredients are used because when you mix these sulfates with salt, which, by the way, a lot of shampoos do, it reacts and makes it appear thicker when you rub it in your hair, so it feels like it's doing loads of healthy things for you, but in reality, it's not. Tip number two, let's talk about wet hair. I personally like to take showers at night. Night showers are nice. I'm sure I'm not the only one, and the issue that may arise is going to sleep with wet hair. When your hair is wet, it's at its most fragile state. When you go to sleep with wet hair, your head is rubbing against your pillow, and that can cause some additional strands to fall out that would have otherwise stayed on your head. So that may be why when you wake up in the morning, you see extra strands of hair. That's all on you. Don't do that. And now we'll touch on when you're actually styling your hair. What can you do to be a bit more gentle with the process? You want to make sure to avoid using styling agents that are really going to tug and rip at your hair. For example, I hate round brushes. A lot of people use round brushes to create that curve in your fringe area. The problem is they're so grippy and they just rip at your roots. Rip at your roots all day. A much better alternative, and to me, even more user-friendly, is this vented brush right here. This allows me to create that exact same curve in the fringe area, but it's much more gentle than a round brush. And I barely have any hair that ever gets stuck in the bristles. When it comes to using a comb, and I'm going to be using our new pomade sample for this demonstration. It's still in the formulation stages, but it's getting very close. I'm not really going for a specific hairstyle. I'm just demonstrating, if you're going to use a comb, the best way to use a comb. So I'm applying some of the Bluemon pomade into damp hair, and the first thing that you want to do is finger comb. This is extremely important. Get your hair going in the direction that you want it to go with your fingers alone. Pretend that they're just an extremely wide-toothed comb, basically. This is going to allow your hair to go in the correct direction without causing any tugging and pulling. Next up, use a wider tooth comb. This is still, it's not very wide, but it's more wide than narrow. And use the wide bit to continue combing in the direction that you want your hair to go. And then finally, to get that crisp look, you can switch to the narrow teeth. Now that all your hair is in the correct direction, you're not going to experience any tugging and pulling when you're using such narrow teeth. Basically, moral of the story, if you're using a styling agent that is ripping at your hair, stop using that. use something that's not gonna rip at your hair. Okay, next up, I'm gonna briefly touch on alcohols. As soon as people see alcohol in a cosmetic product, they immediately think that it is really bad for your hair, that it's drying, etc. And this can be true. A lot of alcohols are not good for you, and they're used because they're cheap to, you know, serve some kind of purpose. However, what you might not know is that there are actually some alcohols that are actually beneficial to your hair. They're usually like fatty alcohols. For example, I can't remember the specific alcohol, but we have included a fatty alcohol in our pomade, and it's a very beneficial moisturizing ingredient. And I thought that it's just kind of interesting to know that not all alcohols are bad. Well guys, I think that's it for this week's video. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to be going to BeautyCon in LA. That is July 9th. So that is coming up very soon. If you're going to be there, you can say hi. I'll say hi back. And that's it. You can get your hands on Original by Blumon in the description down below, and your hands on the pomade soon, whenever it comes out, which is soon. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see everyone next time.